What's up, guys? This is the Basement Movie Podcast. This is episode 1. My name's Garrett Johnson.
And I'm Isaiah Shim.
And this podcast is all about movies, pop culture, comics, everything. And we're real excited to kick it off. Shim, what are we going to talk about today?
So for today's agenda, we're going to go over some news that has been laid out there in the entertainment world this past week or so. And then we are going to get into the entire Sony and Marvel Spider-Man timeline, all the way back from 2015 to the future. And then after that, we're going to give our recommendations for what you should see or play. So, beginning with news, we start in the MCU. So casting has begun for Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, and She-Hulk, all TV shows on Disney+. Thoughts on that, yeah?
I'm very excited for She-Hulk. Out of those characters, she's definitely more familiar. Mm-hmm. Know a little bit about Moon Knight and then don't know much about Ms. Marvel. I know she's going to play a key role in the upcoming Avengers video game, but I'm excited for She-Hulk. Do you have any people in mind that you might want to play?
Stephanie Beatrice, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh my gosh.
She really wants to play her. Yeah, she's made it very public, and I think she'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
But speaking of Ms. Marvel, rumor has it that Vin Diesel and Aaron Taylor Johnson, who previously played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, are in talks and Kick-Ass. Yeah. So those two are in talks to play Black Bolt and Maximus respectively in the Ms. Marvel TV show, and Lockjaw, the cosmic dog, is set to appear in the show.
That's wild that Vin Diesel keeps getting roles where he doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Giant,
the
Iron Giant.
I am Groot.
And then Black Bolt, well, he doesn't say anything because he can't.
Yeah, because it will cause some problems.
Exactly.
And also any Fast and Furious movie, because when he talks, it's painful.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that this is the route they're going to take to reintroduce the Inhumans into the MCU, because they're saying Ms. Marvel is going to get her powers from the Terrigen Mist. So
are they just retconning all the television?
Yes, they're retconning all the television.
That makes sense.
Because
they gave people jobs. So
they did give people jobs, but now the man who has that job is Kevin Feige, who has become the chief creative officer of Marvel. That includes Marvel Studios, Marvel TV, the Disney Plus shows, and Marvel Comics. So he's basically God in Marvel. Moving on. Some casting news as well. Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley. Here's the cast so far. Rooney Mara was just added to the cast recently.
Giants and Steelers family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Powerful girl.
Yeah. So Rooney Mara, Cate Blanchett, Bradley Cooper, Richard Jenkins, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, and Michael Shannon. So, pretty star-studded cast right there. And moving on to more news. Kingsman 3 and Edge of Tomorrow 2 have scripts that are done. Thoughts on that?
Edge of Tomorrow was an interesting concept. Had never watched the movie. Watched the first Kingsman, didn't watch the second one. Yeah. I know the Kingsman movies are popular. They were created by that Marv studio. They also did Kick-Ass and stuff like that. I think the Men from Uncle.
Man from Uncle, yeah.
But I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah.
The first Kingsman was definitely better, but the cinematography and fight sequences in both movies were definitely highlights, and I'm excited to see them tie together Eggsy's story in the third one. And moving on, James Mangold, director of Logan and Walk the Line, still wants to do an X-23
Walk the Line
movie.
Is one of my favorite movies of all time.
He still wants to do an X-23 movie. Thoughts on that?
I think it'd be, if anyone was to introduce the X-Men into Marvel, it should be him.
It should be him, yeah.
He was the guy that killed off the most iconic X-Men character.
Two of them,
true,
yeah.
And did it in one of the best ways possible.
Yeah, it was great.
So I think he's the right guy to do it.
Yeah. Then, moving away from superhero news, John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds are teaming up to make a movie called Imaginary Friends. Krasinski is going to write and direct the movie, and Ryan Reynolds plays a man who can talk to all imaginary friends there are, even those who have been forgotten, and some of those forgotten imaginary friends have turned to the dark side.
Whoa.
Yeah, thoughts on that one?
That could be dark. That could be really dark.
I'm interested to see if they make it rated R, because if they do,
then it'll be fucking
sad. Yeah, probably, but Ryan Reynolds will probably have a field day with that. Yeah. Then Elton John blasts the Lion King remake, saying, quote, "I believe they messed the music up. Music in the current film didn't have the same impact. the magic and joy were lost, end quote. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm with Elton John, but I will say I never watched the live action or the CGI Lion King.
Yeah.
Because I wanted. At first, I was super excited, but then I boycotted it the closer it got because that's my childhood, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had some wild moments listening to that soundtrack. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a great soundtrack, and I do believe that all these new Disney remakes, it's what Walt Disney wanted, you know, because he said he wants these remade for a new generation. So I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I do feel like Elton John should have probably been a part of it, I guess, or just more a part of it, you know.
At least give him one song.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let him do something.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right. Now to the meat of what we're going to talk about today.
Meat and potatoes.
Yes, sir. Sony and Marvel. Two divorced parents fighting over the custody of their child, one Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man.
Peter B. Parker?
Peter B. Parker. Is his middle name... What's his middle name in the MCU? Is it... I don't know.
We probably should have looked that up.
Yeah, because I didn't even think about that.
That's for another day.
Yeah, or the comments. Or Google immediately after. Okay, anyways. So, we're going to go through this entire timeline. Oh, it's a long one. Starting back in December 2014.
Oh, great year.
Yeah, the Sony hack. You remember the Sony hack?
Yeah,
Like,
that's when I was happy I had a 360.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah. All that stuff about like the Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover that never happened.
True.
That would have been sweet. But the Sony hack revealed that Sony and Marvel were talking about Spider-Man in Civil War. Talks broke down, and it was rumored that Sony was considering bringing back Sam Raimi to direct a new Spider-Man trilogy. Wow.
Yeah, which that would have been amazing because it would have kind of would have done what the DC movies are trying to do now, or at least what it looks like, which is the more conceptual art movies. Because you know, if you go and watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man now, it feels different. It feels like a very like conceptual movie. You know?
Yeah.
And I would have liked that, especially like within the context of like the new world of superheroes, you know, team ups, these giant movies, you know.
Right, yeah. And then, so moving on to February 9th, 2015, it was announced that Spider-Man would appear in Captain America Civil War, and that he would also appear in the MCU in a Spider-Man solo film. Then later on in 2015, it was announced that Tom Holland was cast. It was between him and Asa Butterfield, who I can only remember him from Ender's Game.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Definitely thought it was going to be him. Glad it wasn't, though.
Yeah, I know.
In retrospect, he kind of looked weird.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that was the only guy that I knew out of the two, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm okay with him, but...
I don't even know what Tom Holland was in before.
He was in a movie, he was really young, and there was like a hurricane or a monsoon or something in Hawaii, I don't know. And then he did that movie with Chris Hemsworth, I think before, like a year before.
Which one was it?
Oh, gosh. They were on a boat. Was it the Moby Dick
movie?
movie? Yeah.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Heart of the Sea.
Heart of the Sea, that's what it's called. Yeah, and Chris Hemsworth helped Tom Holland with his audition.
Wow.
Yeah, including John Bernthal, Punisher.
Yeah, great actor.
He helped him too. Anyways, so those two were handpicked out of, I think it was like 1,500 people that they auditioned, which is just insane.
Yeah. But you got to. It's Spider-Man.
Exactly. And then Tom Holland was cast. And then in May 2016, Spider-Man appeared in Civil War. And just a great introduction for him, honestly. And then in November 2016, Tom Holland signed on for 3 Spider-Man films and 3 solo movies. That was the quote. I don't really know what that means. Because, like...
Wait, 3 Spider-Man
movies? The quote was 3 Spider-Man movies and 3 solo movies. So...
That's a weird quote.
Yeah, exactly. But that was 3 years ago. Anyways, then in 2017, Spider-Man Homecoming came out. He appeared in Infinity War in 2018, and then had a brief appearance in Endgame in 2019, and then Spider-Man Far From Home came out in July of 2019,
great movie.
which made over $1 billion, making it the highest-grossing Spider-Man movie out of all of them, out of Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's.
Fuck Andrew Garfield.
It wasn't his fault.
It was everyone's fault. But I think, oh man, they blew it with the promotion for that because like it was all about that like first person swing.
Yep.
In the trailers,
which was pretty sweet.
Should have been that the whole time.
Honestly, it should have been.
Let's go back to the current Spider-Man.
Yep. So, and then in August 2019, it was revealed that Sony and Marvel could not come to a new deal, meaning that Spider-Man was going to exit the MCU forever. I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
But
at least for a while.
Yeah. Disney had hoped that the future films would be a, quote, 50-50 co-financing agreement between the two studios, end quote, and Sony wanted to keep the terms of the previous engagement, which entailed Marvel only receiving 5% of the film's initial gross. So, Marvel wanted more money, Sony said no, talks fell through. Then, August 24th, 2019, Tom Holland got a hold of the email and phone number of CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, and reportedly started talking to him, saying, you got to make this new deal happen, you know?
Bob's a savvy guy.
He is a savvy guy. I mean, he made this happen. And then in September of 2019, Disney and Sony announced that a new deal had been made, and that Spider-Man would appear in another solo film and one other Marvel movie. And that is the entire timeline. 5 years worth of stuff.
It feels like it just happened in just a
exactly
snap. Like
exactly the snap. Yeah, you know, like Thanos just went snap, and then now we're here. Yeah. Wow. But so with Spider-Man back in the MCU for a little bit for the time being, Sony still has other plans for Spider-Man related content. And now I'm going to list off all of the spin-offs that Sony has greenlit. So, a Morbius the Living Vampire movie.
Yes!
With Jared Leto starring.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to bounce back.
Yeah, bounce back from...
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Joker.
I mean, he was... Morbius is a great character.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in the animated series from the 90s.
Yeah.
And then he always seemed to be a good Spider-Man video game villain.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So I was big on the Spider-Man video games.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, you played the PS4 one?
Yeah.
PS4 Spider-Man. Oh, fantastic.
Perfect. All right,
yeah.
Let's keep going.
And then a Madam Web movie.
That's how you incorporate all the Spider-Verses.
Exactly. So, you want to explain who Madam Web is?
Well, it's funny because she also played a big role in the 90s series, and that's how I first learned about him. She's also a comic book character. But basically, she kind of runs the
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the Spider-Verse.
The Spider-Man multiverse.
Basically, Spider-Man lives or exists in all these different universes.
Infinite timelines.
Yeah, and his form and function varies a whole bunch of different times.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, there comes a time where she has to bring them all together to, do something great together.
Yep.
And I think it would be a great opportunity for Sony to really have their own super huge team up film.
Yeah.
Where they bring in, obviously they had the Into the Spider-Verse people, which was Nicolas Cage, you had Penny Parker, you had Gwen Stacy. Nicolas Cage obviously played
Spider-Man Noir.
And then you got Miles Morales, and then you got Jake Johnson, Spider-Man.
Peter B. Parker.
Yep. And but wouldn't that be great to also bring together Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, and have them in a live-action Spider-Verse movie.
And I mean, if they could get Tom Holland, that'd be wild.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, they just don't ever address it.
Yep, exactly.
That would be ultimate for them because then they could bring them all together.
Yeah.
And if they're building these villain spin-off movies, it could be huge battle.
Oh man.
Battle.
Yeah.
Of the death. Yeah. Of the ages.
Well, speaking of Spider-Man villains, Venom 2 is going to happen. Okay. Tom Hardy coming back. Andy Serkis directing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. And
if Andy Serkis plays Venom, then I'm up for it.
Still Tom Hardy.
No, I mean, but motion.
Oh, capture. The motion capture. Yeah, he directs it. He directs himself. You know, and then a Spider-Verse 2. Okay. Which we knew was going to happen
with the end credits.
Yeah, exactly. And then an untitled female Spider-Verse movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Gwen Stacy for sure.
Gwen Stacy, Penny Parker, and then probably a bunch of different versions. And then a Kraven the Hunter movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who would play Kraven?
I don't know.
What's that guy from Magic Mike?
Which guy?
Sofia Vergara's husband or whatever her name is.
Oh, the guy who played Deathstroke.
Yeah.
He played Flash.
Joe Mangio.
Yeah, he played Flash in the Tobey ones, yeah.
He'd be great.
He could be a good Kraven, yeah.
He could be ironic.
Exactly, yeah. And then a Black Cat solo movie and a Silver Sable solo movie.
Silver Sable.
Yeah, exactly. And then a Night Watch movie, a Silk movie, a Jackpot movie.
Jackpot.
Yeah, and then a Sinister Six film.
So they have to.
Because Amy Pascal basically said that these characters are in the MCU now, so we're going to do something with them. And more crossover, Venom director Ruben Fleischer, the guy who directed Zombieland, how do you pronounce his last name?
Is it Fletcher?
Fleischer. Ruben said that Tom Hardy's Venom will eventually face off with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Quote, that's where it's all going to lead.
Well, that makes me happy because then Sony's getting pressed from the inside and outside.
Yeah.
I think what what Marvel needs to do, obviously Disney also, they need to establish the symbiote somehow in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, in the MCU. Yep.
But I mean, do they have the rights? Maybe, I don't know. This joint thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
They can work it out, and then I don't know.
Like I said, man, joint custody. It's a funny thing.
And have a 2-part spin-off or whatever.
Yeah, because I think from what I've seen and read, it seems like they want Tom Hardy's Venom in the MCU.
It makes the most sense.
But also they also want Tom Holland in their own Spider-Verse, or Sony's universe of Marvel characters. That's what they're calling it, the SUMC. So they want Spider-Man in their they want Spider-Man in their universe. So I don't know, man. Sony's doing some stuff.
I hope it works for them.
I do too, because I mean, some of these could be really good.
Yeah. I mean, they're really the only characters that are left.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, Sony's really the only company with characters left.
Yeah, from Marvel.
I mean, what if Michael Jackson ended up playing Spider-Man like he wanted to in the 90s?
That would have been weird.
Could have been a good movie.
Probably a lot of his own music in the movie.
Yeah.
But, I read something. Rumor has it that Apple is trying to buy Sony.
What?
Yeah, I read that a while back. I don't know if that's still going to happen. But I also read if Apple buys Sony, then the rights go back to Marvel.
Because Steve Jobs was the chairman on Disney for so long.
Yeah,
so I'm guessing.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, so. Wouldn't that be something?
What would that do to technology if Apple owns Sony?
I don't know, man.
Times are changing.
Yeah. And Sony just recently bought Insomniac Games, who was the head developer on Spider-Man PS4.
That'd be cool.
So Sony's basically saying, we're going to make all your Marvel games now.
Wow.
You know?
That'd be wild.
Yeah. Because...
they did a great job.
Exactly. But...
and, yeah, honestly, kind of looks like the Square Enix one won't be that good.
Yeah. It's just a little disappointing, but it's not coming out on Switch, so...
yeah.
You know? We got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yeah, you know.
I just don't, I mean, like, if you could pick an ideal Marvel video game, what would it be?
Besides the Spider-Man PS4, it'd probably be an Avengers game, what they're doing now, you know? Just capitalize on the market, you know?
One of my favorite Marvel video games of all time, it was Spider-Man Web of Shadows.
Oh, Web of Shadows.
You get choices in it.
Yeah.
And you can become the black suit Spider-Man in the end, or just good old Spider-Man.
Exactly, yeah.
You always go evil.
You always go evil.
And you never come back.
It makes it so much more interesting.
So that means Woody Harrelson would be...
Carnage.
Yeah, in the MCU.
In the MCU. Oh, and
which
then...
you have to.
Yeah. And then Venom 2, Shriek is going to be in the film.
Whoa.
Yeah. And she's going to be a villain alongside Carnage, so that's probably how Carnage is going to escape, you know?
It's definitely interesting to see how everything's going to...
play out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's 12 spin-offs that Sony's trying to make.
Which means they're trying to make their own universe.
Exactly.
And then the universe have to collide.
Yeah.
It's the only two universes that make sense colliding.
Yeah, you know?
Because, I mean, also, like, I feel like Marvel might as well just say, yeah, do that, because then they don't have to focus on that. They can focus on bigger stuff.
Yeah.
They should definitely be consultants, because they know what the heck they're doing.
Exactly. Just let Kevin Feige do his stuff.
Yeah. Just
know?
have him come in on contract work.
It was funny that one of the excuses Sony made was that Kevin Feige was too busy.
Oh.
And after that quote was made, he got the new job where he oversees everything creatively at Marvel. He's also going to be in charge of a Star Wars movie,
which is great.
Exactly. So I don't think he was too busy.
He's just making moves.
Yeah, but I mean, Sony's making moves.
Yeah. Are they the right moves though?
We'll see, I guess.
To be determined.
But so back to Spider-Man back in the MCU. He's going to be in Spider-Man 3, which I think they should do the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because we have let's go through it. We have Vulture, Shocker,
Scorpion. Who I think will get recast.
Yeah. I don't know.
Doc Ock,
who hasn't been introduced yet.
He would have to be the main one.
He would have to be the main guy.
Unless they go Goblin, which would be...
So, yeah.
I mean, what if...
Doc Ock or Goblin?
What if Harry Osborn was like... Okay, sorry, let me rewind. Where do you think Peter Parker would be in his life? Like, how old?
Oh, when the Sinister Six showed up.
Yeah. Because, he's known by everyone.
Yeah. But I think they can easily kind of square that away because of the Skrulls.
Yeah.
But I would like to see him go to court and either have She-Hulk or Daredevil be his lawyer.
Oh, and they just bring Matt Murdock in?
Yeah, Matt Murdock in or She-Hulk. Oh, that'd be so sweet. That'd be so sweet.
Yeah. And would you keep the same guy from the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He deserves it, too.
Yeah.
Or Ben Affleck.
Ben
Affleck.
Bring back Ben Affleck to play Daredevil. Yes.
He's played Superman, Daredevil, and Batman.
The trifecta, one could say. But I hope they do Sinister Six in Spider-Man 3. I just hope they bring back Michael Keaton.
I would want a different Sinister Six, though.
Yeah, like their own Sinister Six.
Because when Scorpion was like, I know a lot of guys that want to get to him.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be also seen as like something, like he's leading on to something much bigger.
Yeah.
Like, definitely Michael Keaton would be great.
Yeah, Vulture would come back.
Great job.
Actually introduce the Prowler. Donald Glover.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think Sandman. Actually, I don't know about Sandman. I thought he was great in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, But they gave him a great
But
storyline.
do they do him in Spider-Man 3 again? I don't think so.
I don't, it'll be the second Spider-Man 3.
Electro. That'd be a great character.
Not Jamie Foxx.
No. What?
Remember Amazing Spider-Man 2? Yeah.
I thought you said Jamie Kennedy for a second.
Oh, no.
He'd be great.
Well, then maybe him, but I think that's the direction they'll go in Spider-Man 3 to tie it all together. But, so what do you think the one Marvel movie's going to be? That he's going to be in? I think it's going to be Young Avengers.
You think Young Avengers?
I think that'd be sweet.
So, I got a feeling he'll be in a Spider-Man movie before... I got a feeling he'll be in a Marvel movie before he's in a Spider-Man movie again.
Well, Spider-Man 3 comes out 2021.
I got a feeling he'll make an appearance in the 2020 movie.
So it would either be Thor 4, Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi, or... What was the fourth one? Oh, well, Spider-Man. So before Spider-Man 3, there's going to be the Eternals, the Black Widow prequel, I don't know what timeline it is. So, Eternals, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Doctor Strange 2.
What's the movie at the end of this phase? Have they said anything?
Thor 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know where he'd appear.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange would make some sense, but it's also like, that movie's supposed to be crazy.
But the multiverse, and then Mysterio, yeah.
Because that whole scene was like super crazy.
Oh, man, yeah.
That'd be cool if that's how Peter Parker gets exposed to the symbiote.
Through the multiverse?
Yeah. They're just experiencing that or whatever.
And then they could, the multiverse movie plus Madam Web.
Yeah.
They could easily connect the two universes together.
And then you have all three of the original Spider-Man.
In one movie, in one scene.
Oh, man.
But I think it could be Young Avengers because we have Cassie Lang, Scott Lang's daughter, Ant-Man's daughter. We have Harley from Iron Man 3, the kid from Iron Man 3. Who else? We have Shuri. We have... Who else? Miss Marvel. Is that it?
I mean, I'm sure there's some characters just hiding around that, like, no one's really said anything about.
Yeah.
Like, I got a feeling, what was the name of that Captain American character? Patriot?
U.S. agent?
No, U.S. agent's a white guy.
Yeah, he's old.
There's this African American basically kind of version of Captain America, but he's like the young version, Patriot or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Coolest costume though.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if he was like someone's son, like Nick Fury's son.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
And like we say goodbye to Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And like
say goodbye to Nick Fury, and then have Spider-Man lead the Young Avengers and really grow up. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, even more than he already has. I mean, he's been to space.
I mean, if this thing keeps progressing, would there ever be like another Civil War? You know, but like just with a different name. Like it follows the story more.
Yeah.
Because like the initial like comic book Civil War really started out with like. Basically, a couple superheroes were followed on reality TV, and then a supervillain blew up a school on national television.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if like there will ever be a point where it gets to like that.
I mean, probably, because I mean, I don't think they could really do Civil War 2, because the whole thing was the Avengers, with Captain Marvel leading, went to attack Thanos and ambush him, and then Rhodey ended up getting a fist through his chest.
R.I.P.
Yeah, and then it was Captain Marvel versus Iron Man, but Thanos is dead. Iron Man's dead. Yeah.
Rhodey ain't doing anything.
I mean, he's probably retired. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I honestly, beyond 2021, no clue.
And it's going to feel like, I feel like it feels so far away, but
it's not.
No?
You know, it's almost 2020, man.
I remember when it was 2008.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when I saw the Iron Man trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow.
An Iron Man movie.
Yeah, and the suit was just perfect.
Yeah. But
I hope the effects get a lot more like they were initially, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean...
They felt a lot more practical.
Yeah.
And it's like, Disney's this huge... Or, I mean, Marvel is a part of this huge company, Disney. It's like, come on.
Monopoly.
Spend some more money on your resource... Or, I mean, use more of your resources.
Yeah, exactly. But...
Make this huge.
Yeah. The future of Spider-Man, though, is looking very busy, to say the least. But yeah, that's pretty much the news we got on Spider-Man as of this point. Who knows? Maybe they'll announce another 12 movies. Probably.
That'd be great.
Maybe the divorced parents will break up again and lose custody altogether. Who knows?
And the U.S. government just makes Spider-Man movies.
They might have to, but... All right, let's get into some recommendations. What are you recommending to the people?
My first recommendation is I'm gonna go with Midsummer. I saw that recently.
That was a weird movie.
Went to bed really scared. Woke up the next day like just smiling on my face. I really loved that. That was a great movie experience. Wish I could have saw that on a big screen.
Yeah. Gonna
have to figure out how to do that soon, but really, really interesting movie. Thought it played with angles very well.
Yes, definitely. Directed by Ari Aster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just overall impressed with it.
It was a very, very psychological, mind-bending kind of movie.
And then, what's your first recommendation?
My first recommendation is, I don't know exactly what the series is called, but it's on CNN. And they do like different episodes for different decades, talking about the movies and TV shows about those decades.
I think it's just called The Decades.
The Decades? Is it called? Yeah, then probably. It's Tom Hanks is an executive producer, and it's just interesting to go through time and see like what was popular. Like I recently watched the 2000s for TV shows. You know, Sopranos, Lost.
Greatest show ever.
Yeah,
Sopranos is the greatest show ever.
Yeah, Sopranos, Lost, The Office, Parks and Rec, Breaking Bad, all those shows. So that's my first recommendation.
Oh, well, I heard you say Sopranos, and I'm just gonna go with that for my second.
Second one, yeah, The Sopranos.
Is literally my favorite show ever. I've seen every episode at least 3 times.
Nice.
It's just great, and like I feel like you could make a documentary just about the shots of food in that movie. In that show.
Oh, definitely.
Like it brings me so much joy. Watch Sopranos.
Yeah, and then my second recommendation is Jojo Rabbit. Comes out in October. Yeah, Taika Waititi. He wrote it too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, wrote and directed the movie.
And
stars in it as Adolf Hitler. Taika Waititi plays Adolf Hitler, and Hitler is an imaginary friend of a young 10-year-old Nazi.
A story that everyone can relate to.
Of course, but that in itself just sold me. So that's my second recommendation.
Sweet.
And so that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you for listening. What else should we say?
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, share, email us at xvideos.com.
No,
Yeah.
that's not, that's not our email.
Adios.
That is not our email. Thank you. Goodbye.